everybody. We're here. Yay. I'm so glad that you're joining me. Please go ahead and pop your name in and just say hello. I'm turning off my ringer. There we go. And I will, sometimes I can't see the comments. It's really a bummer, but if I can see your comments, I will definitely say hello to you. So today I just wanted to talk about what happens when you've made a bunch of decisions and all of a sudden they've all gone to hell in a handbasket, and all of a sudden your life is just upside down. So this happened to me recently, and one of my clients, it happened to them too. So I thought that maybe there was a theme going on here, and I should talk about it. And also, I'm going to share with you my process for how to, you know, make it all better. Make it all better. So we are going to discuss the 5 steps that I am currently using to pick up the pieces of what I thought that I was going to be doing and figure out what it is that I actually want and why things just fell apart. And you might already have a thing like, oh, that person made a decision and that made all of my plans fall apart. Or this thing happened over here and that made all of my plans fall apart. But if you really think about it, the underlying thing that is always constant is your own energy and the way that your energy is interacting with your world, with what you think that you want, and everything in between. So that's what we're really going to be discussing today is, you know, what happened in your energy behind the scenes in the places where it wasn't conscious planning or conscious thought, but the behind the scenes planning, the behind the scenes decisions that you made about yourself, your life, your partner, your finances, your whatever, all the different factors that can factor into things either working out or not. Okay. So I've recently had a giant win. My house actually sold, and let me tell you, it was hell. I I don't think I've ever done anything harder. Honestly. I honestly don't think that I've ever done anything harder. It took every single one of my skills, mental, physical stamina, um, the all the energy work, the calling in the favors from the universe, all of it. It took all of those things. And I really had to, lift up some giant rocks that my belief systems were sitting under and expose those underlying belief systems that I had, and really get clear about why those belief systems weren't working and how to shift them. So all of these experiences are coming into today's conversation. We're just going to go until 12:30 today, so I'm going to try and impart all this information to you. And if you stick around to the end, I will give you a gift. And actually, you can have the gift even if you can't stick around to the end. So all good. So all the decisions that I was making leading up to like last week, just a week ago, felt really on track. It felt really logical. It felt like, I was making decisions. I've been considering a business addition, an expansion, if you will. And a lot of you already know that I love crystals. I wrote a little book called Connecting with Crystals, and it's all about crystal divination. So how you cast crystals and give readings with crystals. It's a little known art. Most people don't do that, but I've always had this total connection with crystals and a fascination for them, and crystal lithomancy is what it's called, has always come really easily for me. So I wrote a little book about it. If you're interested in that book, I can hook you up. I have some copies here that I can send you. It's only $15, has lots of great pictures, fun little anecdotes, and it's really light reading, and it makes the whole thing really fun and interesting. I also cover runes and stuff like that in there too. But that's not what this is about. What I have been looking at is like, do I want to add like a retail location for the crystals and make that into sort of like a healing center, a hub, a place where people can come, a physical location. And I love retail sales. I always have. I have tons of experience in that, and I love crystals. So it just seems like a match made in heaven. But my logic brain was like, that's a big risk. That's a lot of money. You know, all those things that the logical brain is like fear, 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 fear. And then a week ago, all of a sudden, like everything that I thought that I was going to move forward on, all the plans and everything, it's not that anything just specific happened. It was just this feeling of like, oh, I can't say yes to that right now. There was this other space that I was kind of gonna kind of do this hybrid office, little crystal showroom open a few days a week, and I am now feeling like that isn't it. That isn't it. And this has like completely turned my world upside down. And I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know what to decide. Like, I don't know what to decide. There's so many choices. So if you've been in one of those, you know, places of being caught in the middle and not knowing, you know, what it is that that your next step is, I'm going to lead you down this path, 5 steps that I'm using right now, and I'm having some success with, and it's pretty exciting. So anyway, that is what has happened to me. Things have been topsy-turvy, and so what can you do? My name is Jenny Allen. Most of you already know me. Some people call me Jenny Joe. I love it both ways, Jenny or Jenny Joe. Either way works great for me. I like Jenny Joe because it feels just like, you know, fun and energetic, and I don't know. I like that. I like feeling like that. So yeah, call me Jenny Joe if you'd like to. So I have been a Reiki master since 2001. I have been doing this healing work full time since 2013. And so that's 10 years. 10 years. It's pretty exciting. Yeah. Anyway, yes. So this has been my path, and this work has just, it has been so fulfilling for me. I love the fact that it's different every time. I love, you know, meeting new people and having this experience of co-creating the healing process. I love the expansion. I love all the inspiration, the connection, and I love sharing that. I love sharing my knowledge, teaching classes, and yeah, I love sharing the magic. So it's been really a great career for me, for sure. So what do you do when everything feels like it's just upside down? So a lot of times we feel pressure to make a snap decision. And for some people, that works really well. You can, you know, like check in with your gut instinct and make a decision and move forward with it. And that works really well for some people. For me, not so much. I really have to sit with things and feel it out. Like really consider all the different options. If I don't do that, if I make snap decisions that are really big decisions, things don't usually turn out that great for me. So yeah. So I try to give myself some time. So number one, on this 5-step path is to pause, because snap decisions are also often a trauma response, like, they're based in fear, or they're based in, something other than our highest clarity and our highest knowing. And when we make snap decisions, that can be part of a past trauma. Sometimes we are feeling pressured to make a decision, um, because culturally, we're being pressured to, shit or get off the pot, right? And that kind of pressure can really cause you to make the wrong decision, or make a decision that really hasn't or won't work out for your best. So, what I like to do for myself is pause, just take a minute, take a beat, take a few days, and sit with it, and really kind of sit with that turbulence of not knowing, and the discomfort of not knowing, and be okay with being uncomfortable. Be okay with not knowing what the next steps are. That's actually a valid, fine thing to do. Where it spills over into unhealthy is if you've been doing it for months or years or your whole life, and the reason behind not making a decision is fear. No, don't let fear stop you, but also don't allow pressure to make you choose something without really feeling into it. So we're going to get to feeling into it down there. That's number 4. So right now, the number 1 is pause. Just pause. Just sit with the turbulence, sit with the not knowing, and be okay with not knowing, and be okay with not making a decision, just, while you take these 5 steps. Okay, so then second one is talk to somebody that you trust. Like, bring up, figure out what your different options are, and write them down, and then have a discussion with somebody that you trust. I did that, and it was somebody that I knew was going to be a good listener. Choose somebody that's going to be a good listener, somebody that's not going to tell you what to do, but is just going to listen and give you constructive feedback. So the constructive feedback that I got was just fantastic. They said, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I did notice how your voice sounded, how your energy sounded, and how you felt while you were talking about these different options. And I can tell you that there's one that really stood out. And then, can you think of which one that was? And it was like, boom, okay, wow, yep, got it. Right. And so then what I did is I started imagining. So that's number 3, is to imagine. So if you don't have somebody that you trust that you can talk to, either hire somebody like myself or another intuitive reader who isn't going to tell you what to do, but is going to give you thoughtful, feel into the different options and give you an idea of what that would look like, or how that would help shape your life. And then you can make an informed decision from that. So if you don't want to do that, then another choice would be to think out loud, talk to yourself, and talk to your higher self. Like, really listen to your words, and listen to your energy, and listen to yourself, and then write down what you're noticing about how you sound. Is there fear behind it? Is there inspiration? Like, what are those different feelings? So number 3 is imagine. And this is where you can really start to get clear about what your life would be like with the different choices that you can make. Do I go this way, that way, or something in between? And maybe there are things that you hadn't thought of before that could be options. Like, just think of the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, and a couple things in between. Like, I picked out 4 different options for myself that I was considering. Like, what would my life look like if I did this, this, or this? And then number 3 is imagine. And what you're imagining is not the fantasy of what each of those decisions would be like, but the reality. So imagine the reality. Here's another thing. When you're thinking about decisions, do not base your decisions on somebody else, because you will never be able to control somebody else. Never. Never, ever. Never, ever. Your decisions should be made with what you want and not dependent on somebody else's choices. Okay? If you're depending on somebody else, uh, like, I don't know. If you're depending on somebody else, then it's not really a choice that you can make, because then you are under the control of somebody else's choices. So I don't recommend that. Um, just as a thought. Okay. I know when you're in a partnership, you need to take into consideration your partner's wishes and your own wishes and co-create a life together. And so discussing it with your partner, absolutely, yes, for sure. But depending on your partner making a decision or not making a decision, that makes things really tricky. So if you're co-creating a life experience, then co-create it. Figure out the parts that you can make decisions about for yourself. Figure out the parts that are going to support your union and the parts that are going to nurture and feed yourself. And if you have a good partner, then they should be able to, you know, want you to be happy and fulfilled and all that stuff as well. Yeah, there are lots of considerations to take in, to take in when you're in a partnership or, um, in a connection dance with somebody else. But if you're making giant life decisions, really don't let your decisions be made by somebody else. That's my best advice for that. Um, okay. Unless that's your jam. Unless you just don't want to make decisions and you want somebody else to make them for you, then that's okay. And then you have nobody, then that's a decision. That is a decision that you can make. Okay. For me, not really an option. Yeah, I'm too independent for that. Anyway, getting back to our steps. So feeling into each option is number 4. So you've paused, you've talked, you've imagined the reality of what it would feel like and be like to be in each scenario. Okay, what you would feel like, what your life would be like, how you would be dressed, what food you would be eating, like all of those things, taking all of those, how the impact of your health, all the things that you need to think about in order to really look at the reality. And then number 4 is to feel. So we're going to be feeling into each option. What does it feel like to be in it emotionally? Like really tapping into the emotions of it. Is it inspiring? Is it scary? Is it, challenging? Is it depressing? Is it like, oh God, do I have to get up and do this every day? Or is it like, oh my God, I can't wait to jump out of bed. I can't wait to, do this thing or be with that person or, uncover this mystery or whatever it is. Okay? Feel into it. Number 5, once you've got all that, make a decision and then open the flow. Open the flow of yes. Of yes. So making a decision is one of the most powerful things that you can do. But when you make decisions based on somebody else's actions, then that's a wiggly space to be in. If you make a decision based on, just your sort of like knee-jerk reaction, then that's not very well thought out. So these 5 steps are a way to really think things through and come to a very clear understanding of what each of your options would be like for your life. Um, if you're still having trouble, like really making a decision, then, that's when you would come and see me. We can schedule a session, 60 minutes, see if there's something getting in your way of making a decision. If you want to decide one way, but you feel a lot of fear there, we can explore that. Maybe there's a past life experience that needs to be cleared. Maybe there is, something that happened in your childhood that we can reconcile and make peace with so that you can do what you really, really want to do. Maybe you just feel blocked, like, you keep trying, you keep bumping your head against a wall, trying to do this one thing. And maybe there's a reason that it's not working out, and maybe that whatever's blocking you from that path that you think that you want, can be cleared. Or maybe what you think that you want is like close but not right on target, and there may be something like just right around the corner, some blind spot that you're not able to see, to land it perfectly and find that flow of yes for yourself. Also, if you like, okay, I'm ready to make a decision, I'm deciding. Sometimes what can cause the decisions that we make, like I had made decisions and then it just like flipped upside down and everything turned on its head. And so why does that happen? That happens because there's a discrepancy between what your conscious mind is deciding and what your subconscious mind is deciding. There's a discrepancy there. Sometimes it's trauma based, or there's, some kind of deeper fear. Maybe there's a past life experience that needs to be cleared. Sometimes there are underlying fears, feelings, or traumas that cause us to be in opposition to what we say that we want or what we think that we want. And those definitely can be cleared. Those can be cleaned up. Sometimes it can be done in one session, and sometimes it needs several, depending on, how deep it is and all that jazz. So what I'd like to offer you is $25 off. If you're wanting some help making decisions, if you're really wanting to open that flow of yes and not have the underlying invisible past control or block what it is that you're wanting to create in your life, that's when you you schedule a session with me. So I have this $25 off coupon, and it's good right now through this Monday. So just this weekend. So jump on it right away. You can schedule it anytime, in the coming month. But you have to go ahead and click on the link in the description and schedule your session using the coupon code. The link is there and the coupon code is there, and you can get $25 off. And that means that your session is well below 200. It's at 185. Yay to that. And I can help you get some clarity, figure out if there's something that's actually blocking your, your flow of yes. And, or if there's something else that we need to discover that will, hone in your desires a little bit more clearly and help you really get to what it is that's going to make your life feel super fulfilled, make your heart sing, and open up all those beautiful experiences, opportunities, support pathways, and ease, just like ease and peaceful interactions with other people and the world and your life. So yeah, let's tackle that. Let's go. All right, so if you have any questions for me, go ahead and pop them in the comments. I'm going to be checking the comments in the next couple of days. If you just want to schedule a free chat, go ahead and click on that same link and you can find the free chat tool. we can discuss what's going on in your life and come up with a plan for how to move you forward into what it is that you're wanting to create. I'm all about solutions. So, you know, a reading is great if you just want some information about one thing or another, but I tend to love the healing sessions because then that integrates everything. We'll open up your Akashic records no matter which kind of session you choose, and take a look under the hood, as it were, get soul to soul, really dive into what it is that feels confusing or isn't working, or maybe you have chronic pain or some mysterious illnesses or discomfort in your body. We can look at all of those things. I'm a medical intuitive. I can see inside the body with my clairvoyant eyes. If you want to reconcile past relationships with people who have passed on, we can definitely do that. If you suspect that there is some kind of genetic inherited trauma from your maternal line or your paternal line, we can definitely take a look at that. If you suspect that there may be some kind of entity attached to you or some kind of external influence that is causing havoc in your life, we can definitely look at that. I've seen all different kinds of things, portals, attached to people's energy systems, past life events, traumatic events, things like that. I've seen swords still sticking out of a person. It's like, oh my gosh. Or one person was a tree spirit long ago and was eventually chopped down with an axe, and that feeling of pain in the neck. So yeah, I've resolved all sorts of interesting things that you wouldn't imagine would be affecting you today, but somehow they do. Freed up the voice, all different kinds of things. Sometimes our digestive issues are due to completely other things, energetic something or other that's attached or is along for the ride. Somehow I've seen, reptilian beings, I've seen interdimensional beings, I've seen some really nasty, crazy, super bad stuff. And I don't use the word bad very often, but yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff and cleared it all up and sent it back to where it came from, and had some really amazing results, so many testimonials. Anyway, so those are some possibilities. Get $25 off through Monday. All you have to do is click on that link, get to my schedule, and choose the best time for your session. And you can choose, a psychic reading. And if some healing comes up that needs to be done, we can definitely do that in the psychic reading. Don't worry. If you are really just, you really want a healing session, all of this happens online over Zoom, and it's very effective. Yeah. Or if you want to come to my office in Santa Rosa, you are absolutely welcome to do that as well. Just let me know when you sign up that that's what you want to do, and I have my little healing table here, nice and cozy, lots of crystals here too. It's a beautiful office, and you are welcome to come visit me here. All right, it's been lovely, and I can't wait to see you on my schedule. Again, if you have questions, just go ahead and schedule up a free chat in the next couple of days, or absolutely you are welcome to reach out to me with a comment here on Facebook Messenger, or if you have my phone number, text me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, many love and many blessings, and I hope that if you are having a topsy-turvy time right now, that pausing and sitting with it and just allowing the discomfort to be there without attaching any upset to it. Just allow it to be discomforting and know that that's temporary and you're going to get to the other side of it and it's going to be okay. I hope that that goes well for you and that my 5 steps are helpful. Pop your comments in the under this video and I will say hello. Okay, love you. Bye. Have a super great day and a wonderful weekend.